Welcome back to a family business podcast. Today, we have an interesting topic that I know you two are experts on. Daily activities that actually produce closings, which is always the interesting question for any newer agent or an existing agent that's just trying to get going.
Right. And it can be all across the board. I feel that we talk about it all the time, that it's what you are good at the end of the day. There's a million options of what you can be doing in your free time, but what makes the most sense for you?
100%. The one thing that we talked about, we just got done with our 30K and 50-day challenge. The one deal that we talked about over and over again is connecting with your sphere of influence. That is massive. I mean, that would be number one and 1A in my book. What about you guys?
Yeah, growing relationships, building relationships. That's, once you unlock that vault, all of the amazing fruit that comes from that door that you open with one relationship or a handful of relationships will grow and pay in plentiful.
Well, yeah, because the biggest thing is that when you're working to gain other clients, right? When you're expanding your database outside of your sphere, you have to first, get those people to know, like, and trust you. When it comes to your sphere, right? They already like you and they already know you. And I would say they trust you, maybe not in the real estate spectrum, but I think it's pretty easy to meet with them and help them to understand, where you are in your business, or that got a mentor or a coach that's helping you or whatever. And so they're most likely to work with you quicker than a average person would when you're newer in the business. But if you've been in the business a while and you haven't tapped into your sphere and you have results already, I mean, that's a no-brainer. I mean, you just need to inform your friends or family, people you used to work with. And also, if they are not selling, I mean, encourage them to give you a referral. I mean, to echo what you said, there's so many people in our office right now that we have, and Eric Hatch did this Realtor Reset, our coach, at the beginning of the year. And that was also doubling down on your sphere and the people that you already know. And I don't think we do that enough. So I think, yeah, definitely do that on a daily basis.
And we had talked about in our challenge that it's not just about calling your sphere and letting them know that you're in the real estate business. It's more of a natural conversation to just see how they're doing. And then obviously, inevitably, if they don't know that you're in the real estate business, of course, mention that to them. But it's more so just calling, natural conversations. And even like somebody like me that's been in the business for how long, guys?
26.
You got it. Well, 25 and a half, right?
Oh my gosh, Brad, stop.
We're almost 26. No, but it's just calling people, just having natural conversations.
Please, Brad? Can you move that coffee cup forward?
Yeah,
because you're about to knock
today.
it off the table.
Did I hear that we might have a record high today too?
Yeah, currently it's supposed to be 70. Well, it keeps going up. It was 69, then it was 70, now it says 73 today.
Wow.
Why are we not doing the podcast outside?
Well, we probably should be. Well, can we arrange that when it gets a little bit nicer, PT? He's our setup guy. So
can we have the pod on the porch?
I'm sure we could figure it out. We'll dig into those logistics later.
All right, perfect. The only thing might be the wind.
Makes sense.
All right, back to the topic. So let's dive a little bit deeper into the sphere of influence. So you're a newer agent, you're getting into the business, or you're an existing agent that's trying to jumpstart your business right now. What do you say when you call your sphere of influence?
Just having hey, let's play PT.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, PT, it's Andrea. How are you doing?
Oh, hey, Andrea. How are you?
I'm great. What's new? How are the kids?
Oh, they're good. Just crazy busy. The little one's already got 15 tournaments this year so far. So, we're busy.
Well, that's super. I've been busy too. I don't know if you know, I changed careers.
What? Where are you now?
Oh, I'm selling real estate now.
Holy moly. How's that going? How's the market?
It is great. The market's actually really good. We still have a supply, inventory issue like we always have. But, if you're a seller, it's really good. You know what? You just had another kid recently, right?
Yeah, the third one. So, our 3-bedroom little home here isn't holding us up anymore.
Oh, well, it's a good thing I called. Maybe we should get together sometime for coffee or lunch and just chat more about like what you guys are thinking in the future. If you're thinking you might want to upsize a little.
Yeah, coffee's not my thing though, but I'll get a beer if you want.
I think, beer's not my thing, PT, but wine is, so we can go somewhere that has both.
There we go.
Hey,
that's
there.
All right, deal.
That's
See
perfect.
how
now
easy
that was excellent. That was excellent. So that just led to my next topic. a face-to-face meeting, right?
Right.
So you call your sphere of influence, you call your past leads, maybe that haven't bought yet, just to have a conversation and invite them out to coffee or beer or wine or water or whatever you do.
Sure. Golf, anything.
Golf,
Ice cream.
what? Yeah, but just to have the face-to-face, ice cream's fine.
I don't know if you guys know this about PT, but ice cream is like literally his thing. It's his weakness. Did you give ice cream up for Lent?
I gave up all sweets for Lent.
Ooh,
Oh
And
my.
my TikTok feed is just all sweets, and it's
Of course it is.
agonizing.
Of
right?
course it
Of
is.
course it is.
Of course, that might be a little genetic. That would have come from my mother, and that was passed down to your dad.
Yep.
And now you have that. Gene,
Whenever we
so-
go, just a quick story. Whenever we go golfing, she would always have her snack bag. It was a Ziploc baggie full of gummy worms and all sorts of stuff. And so that was actually what I look forward to the most out of playing golf, and that was great.
Well, Brad has a similar thing. Was a quick story. Brad usually has to have a what kind of pop do you get? You get a pop and a bag of Skittles.
Oh, yeah.
Or a Gatorade and a bag of Skittles.
So believe this or not, and I don't think I could do it anymore, but back when I was younger in college, I would go out, and I don't really like chocolate candies that much. I mean, I'll eat it, but
Something's wrong with
that's
you.
really not my big thing. When I was younger, I really liked as sugary as possible. So I used to eat sweet tarts and drink Mountain Dew.
That was a big thing too.
Can you imagine that?
Yep.
Acid reflux. All right, back to the topic
All
at
right.
hand, because I don't think
So-
sweet tarts, Skittles, or gummy worms are going to get you any
it could
business.
be. I mean, that's just one deal that you could have in common with your sphere of influence.
Right.
And the whole thing came down from let's go out for ice cream. So you never know. I mean, or maybe they might want to go out for candy. Who knows? But anyway,
But the bottom line is you want to get face to face. It's one
That's
thing
right.
to make a phone call, but you want to reconnect with those people in a face to face capacity, because that brings genuineness to it, right? I mean, let's be real. When you're out face to face, if you're having coffee or ice cream or beer or wine or whatever you're doing, you might run into other people that you know as well. I mean, what's Jerry Rossi say, Brad?
which part?
What do you have to do?
Yeah, that's David Knox.
I'm sorry, David Knox. What's
you
he say?
just have to be there.
I didn't go through either of these
Yeah.
trainings, but Brad talks about it. So you just have to be there.
And the other thing with, in-person one-on-one conversations, obviously one-on-one is going to be your highest success rate of building the relationship. But, once you start to grow your business, the time for that's going to, lessen. So you see other realtors as well on multiple levels do client events as well.
Yeah.
And that's how you connect personally to down the road. There's whole different scales of, you could put as much money into it as you want, as little. And going back to leveraging your sphere of influence, if you're building relationships with other places, such as like your favorite restaurants or your go-to vendors and so forth, reach out to them and say, hey, do you want to sponsor this event, and figure out a way to work that all together if money potentially is the issue in that aspect too. But that's just another way potentially to stay in touch with your clients.
I
Well,
love that.
Yeah, and the other big thing that's kind of becoming more popular now for client events, which I would agree with it, especially as you do grow your business. This is a little off topic, but not really. But as you grow your business and your client base continues to grow, we used to do holiday parties, Christmas parties for our clients, and it just got so big where it's like I felt like any of you that are married out there, I felt like it was my wedding night, and it's like I didn't remember all the people I talked to. So I think what's kind of a new cool thing that you're seeing as a trend is more smaller, more intimate events. So like kind of take a group of your clients, your sphere that they all have something in common. Maybe they are artsy and you go to one of those, like, I don't know, wine things or what, or kids and you do a pumpkin, but don't do it with as large of a group, do it with a smaller group so that you have more opportunity for genuine connections.
Yeah,
genuine
and we just
conversation.
really did that. I mean, we went to a Christian concert recently where and it was kind of organic that, a lot of our friends are our clients, which is always a good thing, right?
That means you're doing things right.
That means you're doing things right. But that was a good example that we had about 20, 22 people that we invited that night. It was a great night. We didn't talk about real estate really at all. I mean, of course, when you're there, it's natural and organic that they ask you how the market is. blah. But it was more so just to hang out and to have a good time and not even talk business, which leads to when you have these meetings, I've noticed a lot of the times what happens is maybe they're not in the market to do anything, but they know somebody else who is, and you don't even have to ask for that. Like you're going to be top of mind with them that if anybody, including themselves, of course, but if they're not ready quite yet, anybody that they know that's looking to buy or sell real estate, you're going to be on the top of their mind. So when they hear that, they're going to tell them that, hey, call Brad, call Andrea, call PT.
Yeah. I think we've got Spear down, haven't we?
Yeah. So we didn't talk about Zillow leads. We did not talk about Realtor.com leads.
If
So
you
we
can
didn't
see me,
talk
if you're
about,
watching the YouTube, I have two big thumbs down right there.
we didn't talk about any of that. And really what it comes down to is conversion happens in what?
Conversation.
Yes. And that is a very, very true thing. One of the things that I've always said to Andrea is that you want to be the market expert, right? So it's so important. And you can do this over social media, you can do this through conversations. But, you know, when we're out at men's league at Davenport Country Club,
I'm not there. In
well,
case you guys were
when
wondering, it's just
PT
PT and
and I are out at men's league, I mean, how many times do you hear people come up to me, PT,
Right.
and say, how's the market? How's everything going? Right. So that's it, being there. But they also look at me as the market expert because I've been around for time. And then also, social media has been a nice little combination of that. So talk a little bit about that, please.
Yeah. So again, like if we're just to bottle this whole conversation up into one thing, it's building trust, and everything else comes naturally through the relationship. Your ultimate goal is to get that relationship to where you don't even have to bring it up, right? And I think that's the common unknown with this whole ideology is that we're bothering people just to have conversations and so forth, and then we make the conversation weird. If you just be yourself, be genuine with the person, they know what you do. If you do the right things right through social media and they see your videos, even though they're not liking, commenting, or reposting, they see it, right? So they know what you do. So there's multiple layers to it, but your job is to build trust in them. And then they will naturally come to you and ask for your expertise, as Brad mentioned.
well, this goes back to what we just talked about a little bit ago, that when we that we had people come and go to this concert with us. If you truly love what you do, and I know that for some people this is gonna maybe throw you a wrench in your brain, but like if you truly enjoy what you do and you're doing it for the right reasons, like PT said, and you work with people that you like. Now, granted, I mean, are you going to love every single person and want to hang out with them all the time? No. But as you continue to create a referral based business and a spear business and you get repeat clients, you're going to work with people that you want to work with because you like working together. It's a relationship, right? So there shouldn't be any weirdness, right? Like you just genuinely have, it's like if you have a friendship, it's like your friends, your people you went to college with, right? You have something in common when you see each other, you talk about that. It's no different, right? But to your point, PT, a lot of people post all these, like, which there's nothing wrong with it. I think you should have a good variety of like, funny videos and TikTok and all this stuff. But yeah, I mean, you need to be doing educational content that gets pushed out so that when people do see you in public somewhere, they relate back to that, right? And it helps them. The other thing I think for agents that are trying to start their business, and I preach this all the time, if you don't have a big spear, let's say that you live in an area where you're not originally from there, you don't know a ton of people, and I don't remember which podcast, but I told this whole story. I didn't know really a ton of people when I moved to the Quad Cities, and I had a job that required me to book meeting rooms and
You're
hotel
doing that
rooms.
microphone thing again.
What am I doing? Oh, the popsicle. But I had a job that I was director of sales for a hospitality company. So I had to book hotel rooms and meeting rooms. The only way to do that was get connected to people that wanted to book hotel rooms and meeting rooms. So I got involved in my community. I got involved in different not for profits. I got involved in the chamber.
You just brought me into my next topic. So go ahead and expand on that. Like that's another way to grow your sphere is to join organizations that you're passionate about.
Well, yeah. I mean, you can't. I mean, if you're sitting at your desk or you're sitting at home on your computer playing hopscotch or foursquare, or what is it, solitary? Is that what people play? I don't even know because I've never done it in my life. But you're not. I mean, the computer is not going to buy a house from you, and it's probably not going to
Correct.
introduce you to someone to buy a house.
You're
So
absolutely right.
you need to get out in your community. You need to, and don't fake it. I stress that. I can't stress that enough. If you are involved in something just because you want to get a relationship out of it, everyone's going to know that you're not going to get relationships out of it. They're not going to be genuine. You get involved, like someone in our office, she's really passionate about animals and pets, and she started volunteering at the
Yeah,
Humane
that's
Society
great.
or King's Harvest, one of
Yep.
them. And you can tell she loves it.
Yep.
And I love that for her. And she's going to have great relationships that are going to come from that place.
Totally agree. So let's talk about, okay, so we've called our sphere of influence. We continue to do that. We are going to start to target market towards these newer people that we know that were in these organizations. How do we do that?
I don't know that I understand your question.
So how do we, so we've met these people, right? So how do we,
So we have new people in our
so we have
database.
new people
Okay, we
in
made new
the
friends.
database. So we met brand new friends. How do we make sure that we're top of mind with these people?
Yeah, I would say the easiest and simplest way to open the door is simply send them a friend request on Facebook
Yep.
or follow them on Instagram. That's something that definitely should become part of routine. Anybody that you know, um, or you come to know that you don't know as well, it's easier than just asking for a phone number or email right off the bat. And so a quick friend request opens a door so they can start seeing what you do. And then you
Love it.
go from there, and you can then still have a line of communication via social media as well.
Well, and that's also staying in contact with them, because if you are friending them on socials, you're probably seeing their stuff and you're probably commenting and you're probably liking it, and that opens that door for conversation. So 100% agree on that, PT. But in addition to that, when you do get their information, and obviously if that needs to happen organically, or as Brad says, it's just weird. You should be definitely providing them things of value, right? Like if you are the expert in
Right.
your marketplace, there's different things that you can send them for their home value, just because people are always curious whether they're ready to sell now or they're ready to sell 5 years from now. People look to see what their home's worth. You could message them if you know that there's someone that's considering buying, but they have concern if the rates drop, right? Like, keep them informed of that. If some lender has some great program and maybe they're a veteran in the military and there's there's all kinds of things that you can communicate to them just to stay top of mind, and let them know that, hey, I'm thinking about you and I care that you have the information you need. But also you can do fun stuff too. Like we did a thing this fall. Brad is obsessed with Whitey's Pumpkin Shakes. Whitey's is this local ice cream place here in Quad Cities. PT obviously goes there because he loves ice cream too. But we sent little gift cards, which not everybody can do that, especially if you don't have, if your business isn't to the point where you can, but you also do need to reinvest in your business, right? So we gave out, I don't know, remember $5 or $10 gift cards and sent them out to all of our clients, and people loved that. Just
And
as a happy fall.
that's a great comment. We got so many little actual text messages that, for $5 or $10 or whatever those were, that was a great return there.
Yeah.
And most likely, going back to like the small group idea too, if these people you met somewhere, whether it was through, your chamber of commerce or however you met these people, there's probably value that everybody can provide. So whether that you create a small group of something that you guys all like to do, whether that's like go to a Top Golf or even just have a lunch every week, right? To consistently keep that group going. I know Andrea has some opinions on that and just being careful on how those proceed, but they still, if managed correctly, can be utilized to be a great touching point too.
Yeah, no, I totally would agree. Now I'm going to tee Andrea up here. So
Can't wait.
How do we keep this all organized?
Well, you should have a CRM, and if you don't, shame on you. I don't know what to say to you. And I am going to speak to the people who have a problem using a CRM, especially so a lot of CRMs, at least the good ones, usually have a phone number that's associated with that, so you don't have to carry around two phones, like for your business and your personal. And when we first, do you remember, Brad? I didn't even think about this. PT is long before your time, but we legit each had two phones.
Yeah,
I remember.
I remember that
Do
too.
you remember that? Like, so just think about that. So we each had 2 phones. So we had
Yep.
one phone. It was a
Was our
different number.
personal phone and
Yeah,
one was
yeah,
our work
because
phone.
it was
Yep.
just once our business started to explode back in, I don't know, 12, 10, 11, 12-ish, after the market got done crashing and started to come back around, it was impossible. We literally carried around 2 phones, plus everything was in your text messages and in your emails and in your voicemails, right? So you need a CRM because your CRM, which stands for CRM,
Yep, you're right.
contact relationship management.
Yep.
Sorry. But anyway, you need that because it's going to you can set up different systems inside of it. We use Follow Up Boss. I know people hate that that's owned by Zillow. Get over it. It's still the best CRM out there, in my opinion. And we've tried them all. There might be some other good ones. I mean, since we've started that, but it's great. But it allows you to track the last time you've talked to someone. That you can set up different systems so it'll alert you that, hey, you haven't. The other thing that I think is just awesome is that literally, if you have a great CRM, any of them that are good, it should be a place where your phone, your email, and your text messages to someone are all in one place.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I remember the days, and those of you who have been in the business a while and that do a good amount of business can remember when you're like, shoot, did they send that in an email? Did they send that
Oh,
in a
yeah.
text message?
And then
Did
you
they
go
leave that in
back
a
in your phone
voicemail?
and
And you're digging for it. It takes you more time to dig. I mean, you
Yep.
talk about productivity. I mean, what's your cost per hour of digging for information? So, no, you need to have a CRM, and your CRM will also do things for you too. I mean, now they integrate with all the things. So the different apps that your clients are in at looking at different properties and stuff, it'll integrate with that. But get a CRM.
Liability wise too. I mean, you're
100%.
protecting yourself. Once again, saving yourself time to find potential things. I mean, the great thing about Follow Up Boss is it's all in one spot. You go to the file and you scroll down to what conversation you're looking for, whether it's just a text, email, or phone call, and it's all right there.
Well,
Yeah.
and especially if you have a assistant, which as your business grows, you'll have an assistant or someone that's helping you. I mean, they can see everything that's going on too. Instead of it being on the phone that you're carrying around, they can't assist you at all. And the other thing, and one of the big reasons why we got a CRM to begin with, back in the day, I mean, yes, because I was going crazy with all the different places, but also people don't realize this, and we've talked about this in other things, because people are all about it's kind of contradictive here. So like people are like, "Oh, I don't want to use that. I want to use my phone and
Yep.
all this because I want it to be about me and I don't want to miss a call." Okay. Do you realize like if you actually would get a lead on a property, it used to be, and I'm sure it's shorter than this now. The average person, if they message in about a property, how long do they wait for you to respond?
Is it like 8 minutes?
It used to be 7.
7.
But I bet you it's less
Oh,
than
it's
that
gotta be
now.
less now, yeah.
So when you have a CRM and you have it set up appropriately, if you have a lead that comes in and you're in a listing appointment or you're with the buyer, first of all, I hope you're not answering your phone or
Yeah.
your text. But if you are, you can set it up so that the person who's not in that meeting with you, whether it's your assistant, whether you have, a showing partner, an agent partner, they're able to get that lead and respond to them. Because if you don't, they call somebody else. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what happens.
Yeah, and I was probably, for having my same number for how many years.
Oh, that was so painful.
It was, and I would respond on my normal number and not on the follow-up boss number, and then all of a sudden I'm like, okay, where is it at on my regular number? It took me a couple of years to figure out that, hey, we need to reroute all these people to Follow-Up Boss, so that way it's all in there, and then any questions you don't have to go back and like type in words from your text message so you can try to track that number down. Just trust me, from past experience, it's much easier just to convert everybody over to your Follow-Up Boss number. I understand it's kind of complicated, but what I always would use is I've changed my business number to this number.
Right.
So please contact me here. And once you do that, they will change that. I mean, there's a couple of people that, they still use
You
the
have
old
one
number.
that still sometimes,
But
but it always causes a
mostly-
problem too.
Yeah,
Every
but
time there's a problem.
most of these people are going to call you on your
Well,
new business number.
Well, I always look at it like this. It goes back to what we talk about all the time. Like you're running a business, right? You want people to look at you as a professional. What business do you know that they work off of their personal cell phone and personal number to run their business? It's just not practical as your business
Yeah.
scales. If you have any desire to scale at all, it just isn't. You're going to run into issues. And yes, it was the hardest thing in the world to get Brad to convert.
Was, maybe even more than a couple of years where
I think it was a
struggled
year
with
and a
it.
half to 2 years.
Yeah.
But to your point though, at the end of the day, for them, if you explain to them that, hey, I know this is a little bit of a transition and it's weird because you have my other number, which you can still reach out to me on, but that's just like personal stuff.
Yeah.
If you need business help or whatever, I just want to use my business number because I don't ever want to overlook or miss anything from you from a business side of things, and they respect that. It's no different than I was having this conversation with an agent in our office, and this goes back to getting business. She was going to a listing appointment and she kind of had on like yoga pants and a sweatshirt. And she looked fine, but not very professional. And she kind of saw me kind of glance at her when she said she was going to a listing appointment because people know how we feel about that. And she's like, "Oh, it's okay. They're my friends." And I said to her, I said, I think that's fine, but I want you to know that even more so when you're working with your friends. And I think this is the same thing with the business phone, right? When you're working with your friends, the way that your friends look at you is as your friend. And now you're coming in and you want them to look at you in the capacity of being your realtor, the trusted advisor for them in their buying or selling or building process. So I think it should be where you're even more dressed up for them to show them that this is not just a friendship side of things. That's different. I understand you to be a client and I'm going to give you the same respect as I do the rest of my clients.
Yeah.
And it was funny. I said that to her and she was like, "That's a really good point."
Yeah, it makes total sense. I mean, never get too casual. And, that goes back to if you're going over to a friend's house to give a listing presentation, make sure you do what you do with every other client. I mean, they deserve that same level of service.
And please remember too that, that particular situation might not be as high leverage to you at the moment, but you have to remember what all comes after that. Who are they talking to? Who are they potentially referring you to? It could be, their boss that's relocating into town that, oh gosh, I don't know if I want to refer this person to. They wore yoga pants in my house and they just kind of gave me numbers and measured the house, right? You have to prepare yourself to have success in every situation.
Yep.
Well, because how would people know that you dress any differently for a normal appointment?
That's right.
I mean, what do you say to them? Yeah, I usually dress more professional when I'm at appointments,
Right.
but
Exactly.
but you're just my friend. I mean, just really stop for a moment, pause this podcast and rewind it and re-listen to that again. I mean, just how, I'm going to use a not nice word. How asinine is that? I mean, that's just ridiculous. And then you don't understand why when it comes time for pricing or what your commission is that you charge, why they don't respect you on either of those things. Well, you don't respect them enough to show up as a business professional.
That's
Absolutely.
Right.
I'll get off my soapbox.
No,
That's true.
that was excellent. And I really think when you dress very casually, me anyway, I mean, I can't speak for you two or everybody else, but when you're when you're casually dressed, you tend to be a little bit more relaxed, right? And that's a good thing, but not when you're trying to run a business. That when you get dressed up and you do all that dressing for success, then it gets you in a different mindset too.
Well, to go to mindset too, I mean, there's probably people thinking, oh, well, it's being more accepted for the business casual to enter into the real estate industry. Bullshit. Like,
Oh my God, I don't think PT's ever sworn on the podcast.
Like,
woo!
That is it's the mindset. It's a loser mindset, in my opinion. And there's just no way that you're going to break that mold if you just continue that trend, right? You need to show up as your best every single day.
I don't care what.
Agree.
I don't care. I was thinking about this and we use it. I don't care what industry someone works in that's your really good friend, whether they're an attorney, whether they're a doctor, whether they're a chiropractor, whatever. I mean, we could go on and on and on and on. Unless there's someone that works in like the construction industry, right? That's your friend. Can you imagine if you showed up for an appointment for them, or if you do and they're like in yoga pants and a sweatshirt? I mean, does it not give you a different feeling about their level of expertise at what they're doing?
Yep.
I just don't understand it.
Well, and it's respectful too, right? I mean, you're respecting your clients, what you're telling them when you dress up or when you dress like a professional is that you are treating this like a business.
Right.
And who knows who you're going to run into during the day, or who knows who's going to call you. I mean, you might have to just leave right away and you might have to go meet somebody. You never know.
Story.
That is literally, I can't, I mean,
oh, yeah.
If you're a newer
That's a good
agent or you're an agent that your business is not where you want it to be right now, and you wake up in the morning and you go into the office or to go gym and then you stop at the office quick, that is 100% the day that you get the call of someone that wants to see a house or wants you to list their home. And I mean, geez, this just happened to Brad the other day. I mean, it was a client called you had just got back from something, I don't remember what, and it was like they wanted to look at a property, and the reason why they could look is because their plane had gotten delayed.
Yeah.
So it was like a 2-hour time period. If Brad had to like go get all showered and dressed for the day, he wouldn't have made it on time. You
Yep.
know what I mean? And those people ended up buying a house.
Be ready to do business at
Yes.
all times. Yes,
You're in the business to do
you're
business.
you're in the business to do business. I love that. Yeah, and just really kind of closing this out. Many agents overcomplicate this whole thing, right? I mean, at the end of the day, like we had just mentioned, we didn't talk about Zillow leads, we didn't talk about Realtor.com leads. Although there are agents that have been successful with those, the question is how long and how much repeat business do you get off of those things? It all comes down to sphere of influence. I mean, that is where it is at. That is your gold mine.
Well, those things also cost a lot of money. You're giving a
Yep.
lot of your commission for a relationship that may not be more than just the one relationship. And as we've talked about before, they typically don't trust you right away. So that's a harder transaction and takes more of your time. So it's just not the way to build your business.
And I'm going to give the same talk that I gave all the people that were in 30K in 50 days. And that is,
Talk.
if you do this in the next 30 days, if you get into your sphere of influence, you make those calls, I will guarantee you that you'll be very happy with the results.
The activities you do today are your closings for the next 30, 60, 90 days.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And it all
PT?
comes down to consistency.
Just stay focused. Don't, it's very easy, through social media and through systems and through every aspect of the business to thin yourself out. Stay focused on one thing, finish it, and then move on to the next. It's not going to be perfect and you just adjust as you go, but at least you completed it and continue the routine.
Totally agree.
Agree.
Well, that was an excellent episode, and I was glad that we went through all those topics. It's not complicated. Just be consistent.
There we go.
Peace.
Peace.